to turn them on. There you go. Thank you. So here.
Prefer. Morning, everyone. Welcome to the craft store. Jamie Rodgers, are you well?
I'm perfect, thank you. Yourself?
I'm very well, thank you. We've had a lovely morning. We've had a breakfast of mini eggs, haven't we?
We have, yeah, spoiled. Turned up to a little bag of mini eggs. What more
Little
can you
bag.
ask
There were
for?
big ones, but I'm not made of money, so I got you a
Honestly, cost of chocolate, I'll take the little ones.
through the roof.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us. I know a lot of you have been waiting for this show to start. So 2 shows today. What's the later one about? What's this one about?
The later one is all about Christmas.
Yes!
I know it's a bit bonkers, isn't it? Because it's a bit early, but we are going to give you a huge saving on Christmas goodies. So it's a good time to get in and stock up ready.
So that's 3 o'clock.
It is.
What's this show about, Jay?
So this one is all about our latest release. This is our vintage travel collection. So it literally is what it says, really. It's got everything you're going to need to do all of your travel-y themes right the way through, from main sort of focal elements all the way down to the tickets and the tags and the frames to put them in.
We are very lucky. There's loads of new items on this show from Jamie Rodgers Crafts. You shop it all on the website on the screen, jamieonthecraftstore.com. And I love how you've laid that website out, Jamie, because you can sort of see all of your essentials that are across everything, like your glitters, your pastes and things. And then if we scroll down a little bit, just on that homepage, we then see 10 a.m.
Yep.
and 3 p.m.
Yep, I'm terrible with technology, so if I can make it really easy, I'm going to do that. So
Which you've done.
as simple as we can, just keep it all on one screen, no getting lost.
And because you're shopping directly with Jamie, you're going to get the best price because you've taken another 10% off for us.
We have, yeah. We're trying to spoil you all a little bit and give you the chance to get in for your individuals, or of course, there's bigger savings for the bundles.
That's exactly what you've done, yeah. So rather than nearly £112, we're talking $89.99 for the full vintage travel collection. Let's go through what you are getting home. And again, on that website, jamieonthecraftstore.com is where you can buy the individuals too. The floral bicycle, Jay.
Yes, so we start off here with our little bicycle. This one comes with 2 dies in here. So you've got, of course, the main focal bicycle, and then you've got some little flowers that you can put into the basket or decorate around with if you wish to.
Aren't they divine?
As we look through these dies, these are the most etched dies I've ever done.
Okay.
When we actually sent these for production, they said, we can do this, but this is a new level for us. It's going to take an extra 3 days in production.
Wow.
Just because of the amount of etching we're putting on them. This one, of course, has got a lot of etching, but it's a much smaller frame. But when we go through them, you're going to see that real depth come through with these that you're going to be able to achieve as you cut them.
There's much more on the show, by the way. There's also like, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 new sentiments?
Yep, 10 new sentiments, little mini sort of sentiments to complement and go with the collection.
Of which this is one of them. There's some generic ones. There are beautiful scripty ones. There's Father's Day ones as well. So seeing how it all ties in together. But these are just delightful, Jamie.
Thank you. So again, just using the bicycle as a bit of a focal in the frame here, adding in a few flowers.
Yeah.
This one's lovely. I think this one's done by Wendy, bringing in again some sort of foliage around it from one of our previous collections and building that up. Another cute one here, I think, by Ian, where he's used our gilding flakes to actually make the frame of the bike and then cut and layered them. So loads of ways in which you can cut and layer if you wish.
So that is your floral bicycle. If you just want that on its own, you can get hold of it on its own, but of course it's part of the greater collection as well. So that's all things bicycles. Let's talk steam train, please. I love the perspective. Actually, a lot of them are like, feel like they're moving or not square, not side, not like the bike is, but the rest have like real movement.
That's very intentional to give you that depth and make it really achievable for you. And of course, when we come to framing these with our frame set, that works. This is possibly a better example of where you're going to see that deboss level that's achieved on the die. Simply by creating all of that etching, you can really see how deep you can get them.
Inked up or?
This is using our brand new waxes that we've also brought you today. So this one's done by Diane, and she's literally just gone over the top using some gilding waxes to highlight the depth that we can achieve.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm seeing cogs and things around the edge. And also the background here. I feel like this is a previous stamp of this background. Are the cogs from the Mechanics collection?
Very well done.
Thank you very much.
A-star to Dan. These are all collections that we've brought to you before here at the craft store. So this is, of course, our newsprint background stamp. We've done a lot of that this year. We're desperately trying to make sure that everything coordinates and runs through together. So as you come in, you can sort of build bigger collections and take it off on different tangents. It's nothing worse than if you just get one collection and then it's kind of a standalone and nothing really goes with it thereafter. So if we can make it all coordinate, we will.
So everyone who ordered the mechanical collection, this is your your expansion pack on that, but it is a collection in its own right, as you say. This gives a little hint of some of the other planes and transportation coming up on this show too.
So exactly that. You've got our lovely vintage car, we've got our biplane as well, and then even the clouds that are coming in. Oh no, not this one, sorry. But when you look at the steam coming out of the train, keep an eye on that because you'll see it being used as clouds in some of the
okay.
So it also makes good bushes and clouds.
But it is, and that is a very different finish to some of the other ones. But it's like, for example, that card, and in fact, is that the steam? Hang on, there it is. Is that the steam?
That is, yeah.
Okay.
So here is our steam. Sorry, I missed it that time around. But yeah, there's our steam being used as clouds on the top there.
But very different finishes, aren't they? So you can use this collection, the vintage travel collection, for whatever you wish. That is all things steam train. Ocean liner.
So again, with this one, you've got two dyes in here. You've, of course, got your ocean liner and then you've got your waves. The waves are really easy to snip about and layer up, so you can do as many of those as you wish to. Of course, our ocean liner has all that debossing working again. Very easy to colour, very easy to sort of paper piece into as well.
I get it, and you're going to see these coming up, the suitcases are coming up in just a second, the tags and things are coming up in just a second. But the nostalgia of it, of like travel, adventure, exploration, perfect, isn't it?
And of course, the more of the items you've got, the bigger the scene you can create.
Yes.
And that really was kind of the aim, is giving you that sort of theme that's all going to coordinate. So if you wish to do journals or scrapbooking, home decor, or just a set of cards that all match, it's all going to work for you.
You can divide the cost, by the way, of the full travel collection by 3 on PayPal if you wish. This card, by the way, has the #1 dad, which is like an extra, was it $3.59?
Yes, probably.
I think
Sounds
so.
about
I think
likely.
so. I think so. If I'm wrong,
Yeah.
it might be $4.40, but nevertheless.
It was $3.99 full price, so 10%
10%
off.
off. $3.59 sounds right.
Yeah.
I'll confirm it as we go through. But that, sure. But nevertheless, the sort of thing that's another one of the sentiments. There are like small, medium, and large sentiments on the show. One of the medium ones is here. Sorry, you're leaving. But again, the stacked up suitcase is really symbolic, isn't it, of like adventure?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you know you're going off on a good adventure if you've got that many suitcases coming with you. And
Do you
that's kind of
travel
the
light?
idea. No, you've seen how I turned up here.
That's
Today
true.
was a new record, 2 trolleys.
2 trolleys.
I've never had 2 trolleys anywhere.
So
2 trolleys.
when you go on holiday, this is the sort of thing that we know is yours.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, as many suitcases as possible.
Oh, we go. There we go. We go through. You see there the ocean liner. We saw the vintage cars just a second ago, so let's look more on that. Oh, the detailing on like the grill and the side and the wheels.
So
wow.
this again is where our level of sort of etching's coming into our dies to really make sure you've got as much detail as we can jam in. And this helps for when we come to colour them, when we wish to paper piece them, or if we just want to leave them as they are and go over the top with some wax like this one.
Are these the waxes?
They are the waxes. So yeah, that's our lovely raindrop over black card.
Beautiful, isn't it? The waxes, again, they're on the show. Lots of individuals. You'll find them on jamieonthecraftstore.com. That's where you go shopping for your pastes as well, your essentials. And even like the glues and things, you've taken an extra 10% off.
We have.
Those as well, bringing them to the lowest ever price, which is extremely exciting for today. Now, that could be a beautiful wedding card, couldn't it, or anniversary?
Exactly. Cars are such a great sort of symbol for so many things, aren't they? So many occasions. So yes, why not take them off on sort of that wedding theme instead? Again, we've got another one here saying all the love in the world, and another little suitcase of it. These triangles at the top, these are called. These are our new triangle die sets. So again, great for making bunting.
Is that the Isosceles?
It is the Isosceles.
We're coming to it in just
again,
a second.
Diane's used the Isosceles triangle here as well to make not only the little border across the bottom, but also the background here as well. And I thought that was really cool. Reminded me a bit of carnivalesque.
Yes, it is very carnivalesque. Right, we're going to come back to many more samples. However, we're going to plough on through. By the way, if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube this morning, do say hello. What are you up to today? Celebrating VE Day or remembering VE Day? I don't know, but thank you so much for tuning in this morning. Vintage motorbike, Jamie.
Exactly that. So one die in
Oh,
this set.
wow, look at this sample.
Beautiful detailed motorbike.
Bosh.
Again, this one's just been taken over with the raindrop of the metallic waxes to go over the top of that. Very nice, isn't it?
Very, and this is why getting that previous collection, why, as you say, it adds on to that one. It really expands,
All works together, and you can see all of the shades of wax has been used over the background as well. And then another simple one, just using some wax over the top here. The frame is coming up, and of course the sentiment's available as well.
As is here. Now, if you're making to sell with Father's Day a month away, that is loads of time to get this home, to start creating, add the sentiment in, for example, best dad in the world, that motorbike. If they like to tinker or two wheels, or maybe they used to ride bikes but don't anymore, or, you know, whatever reason.
And this motorbike is so easy to do. All this is a cut done with mirror card, and then use a black StazOn pad and rub it over the top. So all you're going to end up with then is all that sort of like scraper foil look.
It does,
with the gold sat behind it and the black on top.
Absolutely spectacular. Not forgetting, oh, by the way, P&P wise, right, we spend over 25.
Yep, completely free.
This is over 25. Even on PayPal, it's £30. Free P&P with this big collection here. That's right, isn't it? I love. Have you ever been up in a biplane?
No. Have you?
I don't think it was a biplane, but I've definitely been up in a plane, like an open.
Oh, okay, that was brave.
Plane.
Did you like it?
I loved it. It was back in my. So I used to work for a channel called Mustard TV, which is in Norwich.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was like just local stuff going on for local people.
Yeah.
And went to an airfield, and went up in a plane. I don't think it had the bit over the top, but like this, and did like a big loop the loop and that.
Oh.
Where did we come out from? I can't remember, somewhere in South Norfolk. Someone might know.
Wow.
There's an aeroplane.
That's quite cool, though. That's
amazing,
impressive.
amazing.
Yeah.
It was a really good day.
Now, was you absolutely petrified? You
know
can
what?
be honest. I would have been.
No, because the pilot, hopefully he's still with us. It's a little, well, about 10 years ago I did this now. He was called Honey. No, not Prairie Farm. He was called Honey, like Captain Honey.
Okay.
And he was like real old school. Clearly been flying this plane since he was 18 years old.
Okay.
No, not that one either, Chris, but thank you, keep looking.
Searching.
Something airfield it was. And so he just put me totally, he literally just put his coffee down. He was like, you ready to go? Which one? No, not seething. Did I make this up? Nope. Just
So you had faith in him.
Yeah, just put his coffee down. He was like,
I like
let's
it.
go up. And off we went. And he was just chatting away to me. And it was just like, wicked. I'll show you. It's my old profile picture. Nevertheless, what we're talking about, it's just memories, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah,
I'd
but
love to do
what
the
a
wing
cool
walking
memory.
thing when you stand up on the back. That would be cool.
That's madness. Good luck.
Oh, wow, is this a slidey card?
It is, yes. So literally, again, done by Diane. You can pull that along and make the little plane go. Very, very cool.
Oh, and the
Very
stamp too.
Yep. All coordinated. She's amazing. They
This
all are.
sort of stuff
We're very
would-
lucky with our DT.
Yeah, blow my Barney's mind. He would absolutely adore that. Never mind, that is the biplane side of things. Now, we're getting into our accessories, right? Our luggage.
We are. So yeah, here comes our suitcases. So
I feel like I'm
these
pushing you along here and you'll be out of the set in a minute, sorry.
So with this one, we've got 2 dies in here. Again, your main sort of stack. Do note, these are really easy to go in and snip apart. So if you do want to make little multi-stacks or you want them to be shorter or bigger or build them, you can do. Again, just going over with a grey ink pad to highlight that sort of definition that's in there. Very easy to do.
There we go, travel, adventure, with the liner, with the plane. For scrapbooking, etc., I think it'd be absolutely wonderful, wouldn't it?
Every holiday you've ever been on, these are going to fit in with that kind of adventure.
Yeah, but I like the way
aren't they?
it could be a little bit Harry Potter-esque if you want it to be, these sort of
I
suitcases.
think it's the colours of this one that makes you think that, isn't it? That one gives me that kind of vibe, a little white owl on the top. And we're
really cool. But all of these sentiments you're seeing, all of these sentiments are also on the show, starting from $3.59. We're nearly there. One more die set to show you, then some stamps, and we're done, are we not?
We are.
Okay.
So these you can do together because they go together.
Whoa.
So we've got stamps and dies that perfectly coordinate.
Here are the dies.
So with the dies, you've also got a frame that goes with them. Again, on the frame, you'll notice quite a bit of deboss work. So it's a proper picture frame. Then you've got your little foldy tag that actually has the score lines done on it as well.
Oh, yeah?
And then you're going to notice that a lot of these bits are going to fit in to go on your tags, to go on your tickets, to just match up and make it really easy for you.
Free pass, all aboard, first class, special delivery. So as well as flying and things, it's like...
Yeah, there's a little bit of everything. Every
like
aspect
postage as
we
well,
could fit in.
airmail, yeah, take it easy. Luxury travel, Bon Voyage, adventure travel company, fly high, amazing. Can you pass this scrapbook page? Thank you so much, because we talked about scrapbooking or do larger projects or smaller projects. This is just crying out for a bit of doodling, bit of jotting, a bit of
all
memories
your
of
photos,
photos.
whatever you wish to put on there. But again, you've got our sort of alphabet being brought in on top of the tickets. You've got the bike. You've got the stamps coming in as well. Honestly, there's no stopping you once you've got this collection.
Now, here we go. This is brand new for you here on the Craft Store. Thank you, Jamie. And a further 10%, thank you so much, coming off that big collection for you, from down to $89.99. Divide the cost by 3 if you wish, and it's over £25, therefore free P and P. Now then, triangles.
Yes.
You mentioned there are some new triangles on the show, and here we are.
And we've seen them sort of sneaking in quite a few projects, haven't we? So these are the brand new plain Isosceles triangles. There are 17 dies in this set, and this really is designed to give you everything from the smallest bunting right the way up to the largest bunting. Or maybe it's not about bunting, maybe it's going to be the constructions that you're going to do with them. Maybe you want to make like a little gift box.
Oh my gosh. Wow, there are some... I'm going to put these down because there are some brilliant samples on the way.
This one's lovely. So this one's done by Wendy. So Wendy's made her box using the triangles on the top and the bottom. She's used all of the different images going around the side here from the die collection. And then when we open this up, she's then made not only a little card that fits within the box, which of course again is using the triangles. On top of that, there's tissue paper, and on the tissue paper, she's stamped all of the images from our ticket stamp set. And then inside there's a little gift. Yeah.
Wow.
It's cool, isn't it?
Wendy, very impressed.
Yeah, love this. So yeah, and then the little card fits right in the top of the box. You've got present and card all in one box that matches.
So constructive pieces or your bunting side of things. Maybe you were thinking, you know, for VE Day today and you were just crying out for something like this. The next celebration, the next birthday, whatever you are feeling like, you can spy them here being brought in with a bit of a embossing going through with the train, with, of course, Jamie's trademark flowers as well.
This one's cool. This one's done by Sharon. I really, really love this project. The way she's sort of made them into mountains at the back here and then used a triangle at the base as well to sort of build up on top of. And this little village, this is coming up on the Christmas show later.
Ah.
These bushes are the steam that comes out of the train.
Okay.
So you've kind of got everything available today to recreate that one.
That is 3 o'clock for the Christmas bonanza. Don't go anywhere with that. Gives us an excuse to dust off the Christmas decks as well, doesn't it? And then this one, it looks like, well, maybe it's a mountain. Looks like a big top. It could be all sorts, couldn't it?
It gives me Christmas tree vibes again. I think I'm just seeing everything in a Christmas line at the moment, but it certainly doesn't have to be, but it could be, once again.
Whatever you'd rather do. So that is in stock on the show, brand new today for creating constructive pieces, your card blanks, whatever you'd rather do. I'm really aware. I'm slowly but surely pushing stuff off. Right, we're going to continue down because you saw a handful of those sentiments too, starting at £3.59. So please, on jamieonthecraftstore.com. That's where you can spy everything that you are after. Now then, let me get my clipboard. Because some brand new bundles. There's a reason why you put these trios together, right?
Yes. So we've been doing this thing on our Facebook pages and different places where we're doing what we're classing as the triple layer look. We're going to do it in our first demo.
Okay.
So if I don't waffle and make sense, I will show you, I promise. But basically with our nesting dies, and we've sort of spoke about this previously, all of the dies coordinate. So for instance, we've got our scallop set on the top here. So you've got a scallop square, you've got a scalloped octagon, and you've got a scalloped circle. Every single one of these has separate pierced lines that run on the inside of the lines as well. So they're not attached. I'll show you on the reverse if that makes any sense. But the actual pierced element is separate, and it just gives you the ability to yo-yo between them and use them throughout all of the different sets.
But I've got that continuation of the design, whether you're going, with scalloped, decal, or the plain side of things. Again, it's all on jamieonthecraftstore.com, that homepage, you can see it all there.
And then with our triple layer look, what that refers to is using a square, then adding up as our next layer an octagon, and then topping that off with a circle. So you're keeping that design idea running all the way through the layers, but giving you different ways to decorate them throughout. We will show you in the demo, I promise. Very
cool. Okay, they are now $69.99, brand new configurations for you. Should be $87.97, a further 10% off basically anything, any price on jamieonthecraftstore.com, 10% off.
We'll give you some discounts. You'll see them all marked out.
Yes, you will indeed. So that's exactly where you go. So again, on jamieonthecraftstore.com, at the top you'll see all of the essentials, as you see, like the waxes that I know we're going to use in just a second in the first demo. Scroll on down for everything 10 a.m. It says 10 a.m. Scroll down a little bit further, everything 3 p.m. and Christmas Bonanza. You can spy it there as well. Shall we go to demo?
Let's.
Okay, friends, come along with us. Don't forget you can watch it on Facebook. You can also maybe stream it to your smart TV, or if you've got a smart TV, of course, you can watch on YouTube there. So thank you so much for commenting. I'm going to look at my phone in just a second to check out what you've been saying. Now, what are we going to do first demonstration?
So this is the card that we're going to do to begin with, and we're going to start off by actually bringing in our waxes, because I absolutely love playing with these, and there are so many ways and styles and bits we can achieve with these. So we're going to start off working all with white card. So everything on this project you see started its life as a piece of white card, and it's going to be the waxes and the different elements we bring in that are going to be the parts that are going to colour it for us. So I'm going to cheat and I'm going to bring in these. These look a bit messy now. I've been using these for a while. I see our lovely Craig from Crafter's Companion, and he did this and I thought it was brilliant. So I'm going to credit where credit's due. We use finger doorbells with our waxes and they're brilliant. And you start off and you think, oh, that's great. And of course you can use them as they are. But after about 5 minutes, they start to jam onto your finger and you think, well, that's quite painful and I really don't want that there. Craig was using his on the top of Mr. bottles. My ones didn't fit on Mr. bottles, but they did fit on the top of old alcohol markers.
Rightio.
So it's just a little tip, thanks to Craig, that's worth sharing with you. So if you're wondering what's on mine, that's how and where they've come from.
Thank you, Craig Laird. By the way, the team, JB's team, Peter, is posting that he's doing it well.
Is he?
It's happening.
Doing good, is he?
He's doing well.
Good.
To lots of the individuals for the big collection. So even in the Facebook comments, you can see them all there. Carol Miller says, good morning all. Good morning, Carol. Sharon Noble.
Lovely, Sharon.
Sharon's watching, saying, hi, Dan, hi, Jamie, hi, all. Yeah, hello, everybody. Give us a shout out this morning if you're watching. Andrea, Mary, Elaine, Joyce, Teresa, Julie, lots of people just tuned in. And that's purely just Facebook-wise. There's always more people watching on YouTube, so I'll check there in just a sec.
It's lovely to have you all with us. Thank you for joining us.
Isn't it just?
So all I'm doing is I'm taking the blending tool into the pot of wax, and then I'm just taking this around the edges of the card. As you can see, this basically means that I've now got pearl-edged card, and of course, with this project, as along with many others, all we're going to be seeing is the edges. So why spend lots of pennies on buying pearlescent card when we can buy plain card and colour the edges? And we don't have to just stop at one colour, we can carry on building up.
So these waxes, $5.39 a colour.
Yes.
Brilliant, that's with 10%
very
off,
good
by the way.
value. So we started off with the gold bullion. We're now going to go in, let's get another end. We're now going to go in and we are going to use, I can never remember the names, copper pot.
Okay.
So we're going to just go around the edges with our copper pot, and we're just going to blend this so we've got that gold and copper coming together. It doesn't have to be too heavy, but we're just going to add to the shades. And this is the joy of having them as separate colours. We can really create our own mixes. You can even, which is something I didn't think of for quite a while when I started playing with these, you can even hook out two colours, mix them together, create a new colour and then apply it.
Oh, nice.
Which I know is probably common sense, but I was just a bit slow to the party with that one. But it's kind of nice to remember that you can mix them to make new
of course
shades.
it is.
So we've started with 6 colours, and I really wanted a green, and was kind of like, well, how am I going to make the green? So of course, just mixed my own instead.
Natalie's on commented on YouTube, by the way. Natalie's saying, good morning, everyone. Morning, Jamie and Dan. Great to see JRC.
Oh, that's lovely to hear. Thank you.
On the craft store.
In case you forgot, that's you.
That's you. You're here on the craft store with this collection. Fabulous. Thank you, Natalie. That is on YouTube.
Thank you very much. It's lovely to be here.
That's you.
So what we're going to do next is we're going to take our stencil, if I can find where I've put it, actually.
Now, the diamond stencil.
Yeah.
Quick shout. This is a real special little offer that you've popped on here. Here we go, the diamond stencil. Again, should be $5.99. Now $5.39. Just give you a little nod. It's a big size, that. Is that 8? No, not quite 8 by 8.
It is 8 by 8.
It is 8 by 8.
8 by 8, yeah. We tend to do all of our stencils as quite large stencils because I tend to think it's easier to cut it down than it is to try and match them up. So sometimes we do smaller ones, but usually large.
There we go. So if you haven't got the diamonds yet, you can. $5.39. Maybe your basket is set at £20 and you want to get free P&P. That goes in there. You get 25.
Absolutely.
And we're off. Okay.
So we're going to take our stencil. We're going to lay it down on our base plate. We're going to lay our card over the top of this, and then we're going to bring in our rubber mat and place that over the top. And then we're going to top this off with our top plate, and we're going to send it through the machine. Now what that rubber mat's going to do, if you've not seen this happen before, is the rubber mat's going to push down on top of the card and it's going to push it into the apertures that are on that stencil.
Okay.
So instead of just stenciling through like we tend to with our texture paste and our inks and bits, we're actually going to emboss it instead. So this is a really great value way of taking every stencil and turning them into embossing folders.
Excellent.
And then with our stencils are cut from a slightly thicker mylar to what most companies use. And that means that when we send them through to emboss them, we're going to get more depth to it. So you'll see more prominence to your embossing.
It's on its way, don't worry. The camera's on its way.
Fell asleep.
I'm just pleased they've turned on.
There you go. So you can see now lots of depth, and again, even on the deboss side, we can use that side as well if we prefer.
I know sometimes people will use a pearlescent card or a shimmer or an iridescent because you want that effect, but it's not thick enough to do so to create the shadow, the depth.
Exactly.
So the iridescent side of it does it, right? With this, that is pure cardstock, away you go. So imagine what it looks like then on holographic or whatever else you're going to use.
And because we've got that higher level of embossing, when it comes into inking over the top of it, I'm not worried if I go through to the underneath, but we can be quite generous, quite sort of pressured if we want to, and just make sure we're colouring over the top of this. And I've gone for the emboss side, but of course we could do the deboss side if we prefer. But we're just going to go over the top of that. Now, of course, this depends on what type of ink pad you're using. Different ink pads are made of different materials. The one I'm using at the moment is our quick dry pigment inks, and these are made of felt, so they're quite tough. For instance, with our metallic inks, they're quite spongy.
Okay.
They're made of foam instead, because just the way they carry the ink. So if we was using that, there's more chance we're going to go through to the underneath. But if you do find that the ink pad you're trying to use does go through to underneath, then apply your ink using a brayer instead, because a brayer again is a hard surface that's just going to go over the top of it and you're not going to go through with it.
Rightio.
Now once we've got our base colour down, we're going to go back to our waxes once again. So we're going to start off again with our gold. I tend to start off with the lighter colours and then build up. We don't need to do loads of this, so we're just going to start off over here we're just going to go over the top of a corner to give you an idea of a bit of blending.
This could be really masculine. It could be really steampunk. It could be really multicoloured if you want to, particularly with your waxes. You can go quite masculine or not. I love to say silver, copper side of things, the gold bullion. Gold bullion. I don't know why I said that.
What's that about?
I don't know. Cherry blossom, copper, another copper, and a snow white. I don't know. I feel like gold bullion feels like a old money.
Sort of Texas oil giant kind of vibe, maybe. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll go with it. Yeah. So we're now going to use the raindrop, and we're just going around the edges here again with that one, just kind of layering them together.
What is bullion?
What is bullion?
Is it a gold bar? Is that what a bar of gold is called? A bullion?
We've discussed you're not allowed to ask me questions.
Oh, we have discussed this. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Not allowed to.
We talked about this.
You remember, I'm not very intelligent. Okay, so then on with the copper pot as well. But yeah, I think it is a gold bar, isn't it? Got to be, hasn't it?
I think so.
Yeah.
Bullion.
Okay, so there are 3 colours. So for this one, we've used some of the gold, some of the copper, and some of the blue.
Can any bar be called a bullion? A chocolate bar?
You're asking questions again, aren't you? I don't know.
So I can sound posh when I'm eating a Mars.
I don't know. More, we could try and take the Mars bar to the bank and try and convince them that that is gold bullion. If we could, if we can get away with that, that might work better. Okay, so onto the card. Should we start building this up?
Come to a Barclays near you, me and Jamie. Yeah. See us approaching.
Trying to convince them that they want to take a dime bar and give us a couple of mil. Okay, we're going to add on to our 8x8 card our first layer, which is the one that we did to begin with. Then we're going to bring in, we haven't done our die cutting, have we? Let's show you the dies.
Okay, what are you going to go for?
Let's show you these. So, where should we begin? Let's go for these ones. These are our stitched ones. So we'll get some plates and we'll bring some of these in.
Now, this is that whole layering, is it? The matte and layering, the scallop, the decal, the plain, if you want to. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to hook out, first of all, our decal edge.
Nice.
Now, as I mentioned, these do not have the piercing or the stitching attached to them. And this is the joy of this collection. It means that we can go off. So these ones come with the stitches, but we might say, well, actually, we're going to go and we're going to use the pierced instead. And we can place the pierced inside the decal.
Nice.
And you can do this wherever you want. And then because they're separate, for this card, we're not going to see it, so it doesn't matter. But as we're going to cut it, we might as well play a little bit. So let's start bringing in a couple more of these and placing these on the inside. And this is where the freedom to get creative really comes in, because maybe you want to start twisting your shapes as you go down.
Oh, okay.
Maybe you want to start twisting them. Maybe you want to add in some corner dies. We've bought you corner dies before. You might want to add those into them areas. Maybe you want to go in instead and think, well, actually, we're going to place a circle in the middle of that, because everything's going to coordinate, everything's going to match.
But you've got that continuation of the decal, of the scallop, whatever you want, so it's all meant to. Bless you, Jay.
Oh, excuse me, sorry.
Everything, by the way, if you have just joined us, JamieOnTheCraftStore.com. It's a really simple, easy to use website. Everything's on that homepage.
It is.
Everything's there.
Don't do complicated.
Just scroll down and keep scrolling. It's quite a long way to scroll if you want to, but keep scrolling down. There's 2 shows with Jamie today, 3 p.m, which is all things festive. 25% off, which is hugely exciting. Tons of new stuff as far as the sentiments go. The Isosceles triangle, after all the travel elements. So you're really treating us. Thank you. And 10% off. 10% off everything off this show. Not like even the essential glues and things, which makes them the lowest ever price. It's really exciting to fill your baskets.
Yeah, we like that.
You do. You nailed it.
So I've cut this one out of black because I'm hoping you're going to see the stitching and the piercing slightly better. But we can take that away now, and you can see all of them areas have been placed in for us. So it's just down to you, because now you've got that ability to play. And then, of course, in our bundles, we've bought for you the plain versions as well. So you might prefer to actually start cutting some items out. Maybe you want to cut out that middle and turn that into a frame. Maybe you wanted to stop at that line and cut that out instead using the plain squares. This is all about options and giving you the ability to just play and create as you wish.
I like that a lot.
But for my one, well, we've had nesting dies for years, haven't we?
Yeah.
And it's kind of just trying to think of how can we give you more options so that you can be even more creative, and where can we take that off to? And we've already done, as you can see, the 3 shapes that we've bought for each out of the 3 different finishes. There is other finishes already available, and there will be more shapes coming as we go through the rest of the year. So, and it'll all coordinate, and that's to us really important.
So even if you're not sure, maybe you want to do something completely different that you don't normally do, and you don't want to do a classic with an image on it or a car on it like you can do. Just playing with the shapes.
Yeah, yeah.
Done. One purchase. Just do that if you want to.
Yeah. And then we're going to go on. So we've started off now with our layer and we did the square. So this is where our triple layer look's coming in. We're now going to bring in the matching octagon and we're going to place that into the centre. Now this is where your corner dies come in. I've chose to emboss instead, but if you've got some nice corner dies, we do loads of different corner dies. They fit perfectly in the corners of those instead if you prefer. Then we're going to go on to our plain circles. So I've cheated and I've gone ahead and I've done this, but I've used our Latin script stamp and I've stamped over the top of this already. And then I've used the waxies once again in the same shades to just go round the edges of that. We're not going to see the middle, so we don't need to worry about the centre. We're then going to go into our decored edge circles. So the third one within the sets that we've bought you. And we're going to place that in the middle to mask that off. So this is why we've bought you the two different sets, because you're using the plain squares here, the plain circles. And then of course you've got the circle, the octagon and the square through that fancy edge.
Decal plain.
Yeah.
In my layers going through.
Exactly.
All right.
But you don't have to. You can just do one if you want to.
So cool, isn't it?
But it's kind of nice. The scalloped is really lovely as well. The decal's very pretty and very vintage, but the scallop's very, very delicate and pretty. Okay, so let's move on and cut one of our transport items, shall we? So let's go for the plain. So we're going to bring this in, and I just want to show you this because I think this is important for you to see. We're going to cut it first of all, and then I'm going to show you what we will need to do to emboss them. So you don't have to emboss them if you don't wish to, but of course the more detail and more pressure we put on them, the more of a finished result we're going to end up with.
I'm going to find the picture of me in a biplane, because it used to be my profile picture. You might not be interested whatsoever at home, but as we're talking about it...
I'm interested.
You know, John, I've got to find
I think it's very brave.
Like, evolution of profile pictures back in the day.
Is there any other like extreme things you wish to do? That's very brave.
That's
I
upside
couldn't
down.
do that.
Oh, is it like that? No, that's me upside down.
No, you're upside down. Yeah.
I'll show you at home.
Yeah.
I hope it works. It might be a bit dark. Can you see? There you go. So something's upside down somewhere. But yeah, just outside, just flapping around.
That's very brave.
I've been quite. I know. I've done like bungee jumps and
Oh, have you? Oh,
skydives
okay.
and stuff.
Oh, okay. That is very brave.
In my wasted youth.
That. Nah.
How about you?
Nah.
No, no, that's it.
Nah. You can stick me on a roller coaster to whatever height you want, things like that. That I'm fine with. I can do that. But even like, you know, when if you go to the airport and they say you've got to go out and walk down the thing and up the stairs getting on the plane, they scare me.
Do they?
I don't know what that's about.
You feel it's quite open. It's normally windy as well getting on a plane, isn't it?
But I don't know, that bothers me. And you think, well, you're going to get in a baked bean can and go flying in the sky.
That's okay.
And that's fine. Don't mind flying at all. But the stairs freak me out. So no, I couldn't do that. I'd like to do a hot air balloon, but I'm scared of that as well. I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah, once you're in, I think. It's just getting the right day, isn't it?
I don't know. And then the fear of like when they come down, they reckon they hit with quite a bang, don't they?
Yeah.
I don't know about that. Okay, so we've cut our plane.
I've never done a hot air balloon.
No, I suppose that's quite meek and mild.
No, not at all. I think it's going to be the perfect conditions, hasn't it? They don't go up. And
my sister was meant to go up the other day and they cancelled it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But obviously, you want it to be right. You don't want to just get.
Yeah.
Don't want to get
up
blown away to
sort of knocked off. So I've
France.
cut my plane and now I'm going to bring in my rubber mat.
Okay.
Place that over the top, and the rubber mat is going to, again, like we did with the stencil, it's going to put more pressure on the die or on the card to make sure that that goes through and embosses for us.
Yeah.
And I would recommend this with these dies because of the amount of etching that's on them. It is worth taking the time and sending them through with that rubber mat. If you don't have a rubber mat, not all machines come with them. You can normally purchase them separately. And in the meantime, while you're waiting to get your rubber mat, add on another piece of card. Another piece of card on top of the one you're working with will act in the same way.
Okay.
And it will push down and give you a bit more pressure. It's not as good as a rubber mat, but it's not far off. So if you need to, that can certainly help. It also saves a bit of time too.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay.
So yeah, if you just want the biplane, you can absolutely just get hold of the biplane. There's lots of comments coming in and individual links to JamieOnTheCraftStore.com. Very quickly, Wendy. Oh, I guess is Wendy in the States? Your Wendy, or is it a different Wendy? Your design team member Wendy.
Our Wendy. That's not our Wendy.
Not Wendy Gill?
Sorry, Wendy.
That's right, it's a different Wendy. Hi from the States,
Hello,
Wendy. Love that. You do ship to America.
We do,
don't you? Yeah.
We do. Absolutely.
Sue says, love the show and ordered my new loveliness. Sue, lovely to hear. Well done. Alison also says, morning, Peter, if you're there. Peter. He is here.
He's in the distance somewhere.
He is in the distance.
There somewhere.
Somewhere.
Tapping away at a screen.
You've got the seal of approval from Sharon. She says, brilliant demo,
Thank
by
you,
the way.
Sharon.
Love watching Jamie. Glue ambassador sounds posh.
This is our Alison Smith.
Yeah.
She is our glue ambassador. She's very, very good. Wherever we go, she pops up and tells the world how wonderful our glue is. She has a Xander Panda that we're going to send a door-to-door in to promote it.
Oh, really?
Think Avon lady, but with glue.
With your glues?
Yeah.
Even the glues then, large or small, there's a further 10% off these as well. You can see it all. You don't need a promo code on this occasion. You've already done it for us, right?
We have.
Just pop it in your basket. As you see people shopping already, jamieonthecraftstore.com is where you find these prices. These prices we're talking about are all at jamieonthecraftstore.com. Rightio.
So all you can see them doing now is just taking the die cuts and taking the ink to them. Again, depending on the ink you're working with, it's ever so easy.
That looks spectacular.
And it's easy, isn't it? You know, it looks like we've done something complicated. We really, truly haven't. We've just rubbed an ink pad over the top of it. And to me, that's the sign of a good die because it means all of the hard work's been done for us, which is what we want, isn't it? So we're then going to bring in our waxes, and once again, we're going to work over the top of this. And you could go off in all different tangents or different shades if you wish to, but we'll just do the car and we'll start off with the gold to match in with the layers that we've been working on before. Now, of course, with gilding waxes, again, I'm using the finger daubers for these, but if you prefer, if you want a more sort of crisp effect, you can go in and literally apply it with the top of your finger, and then that way, again, your finger's going to be slightly harder and not go into the gaps like a finger dauber will, because they're spongy. So it just depends on the effect you wish to achieve.
I thought it was just purely whether you don't like it on your skin or not.
No, not at all. No, it's more about coverage. I find I can cover a quicker area using a dauber than I can using tip of my finger.
These waxes are new for you, by the way. The metallic waxes, 6 different options, $5.39 a colour, whichever you would rather. But there they all are. I'll go through those either this show or next show.
And then we'll add in some of the blue as well, just over the top here, just to coordinate with all of the shades that we've been building up.
Yeah, making your unique shades different, or just playing, get all 6, and you've got more options to put them all together. I do love the that blue and gold bullion on the top row. That's really cool.
They're very lovely, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
I really like the cherry blossom because that's really just subtle.
Yeah, it's very
pretty, which is really lovely. So, okay, back to our card. Let's start building up these pieces. So I've already cheated and I've gone ahead and I've done the set of suitcases for myself already. I'm going to bring that in. Now the car. You know, earlier I mentioned about how if you don't have a rubber mat, you can cut 2 at once and that will help you. If you cut 2 pieces of card at one time, and this is pretty much with any die that you're working with, the die cut will go round and it will cut round the edge of the die, but 9 out of 10 times it won't cut the details in the middle because you're just asking it to do too much to go through 2 pieces of card. You'll notice that the embossing isn't quite as prominent on the second one, again because we're asking for it to do quite a lot. I'm working with our Elite card, so this is 300 GSM, so it's 600 GSM we're asking it to cut through. It's an awful lot, even in an electronic machine. And that's a real bonus because of the second one with the pieces still attached, means we can just add some foam tape to the back and it will secure them down, and we can then bring in our car and we can glue that over the top so that our car now has a backing to go behind its windows.
I like how you've done that on white. It could be done on gold, it could be different colour, whatever you want. But yeah, that's cool.
Whatever shade you wish to. So we're going to start off with a new glue. So with my new glue, this is one fresh out of the box.
Oh, it is.
We've got a sealed nozzle to it, and this is what I love with our glue. You've got your extra nozzle that comes over the top of it to make sure that it stays ready to use and safe to travel. So if you're taking it out to classes and crops and bits like that, you don't have to worry about having a leaky lid or damage in your lid. And then when you've got it, you can just pick exactly where you wish to cut it down. So you might choose to have different levels of cut so that you've got different sort of flows to apply with. Some people like to use loads of glue, don't they? Other people like to be quite frugal. So it's just down to you and gives you the choice of where you wish to sort of cut it and use it from.
So this is classing as up. It's not small, but compared to the big one, it's small.
Oh, yes.
So that's why I'm calling it small glue, little glue. $6.74, should be $7.99, $6.74. If you want to go for the super big one, that has 10% off as well, $26.99. The same glue in there, just different bottles, right?
Correct, exactly the same glue. And it works out mathematically that the big one works out to be about half price of buying all of the
equivalent
in the small ones.
But whatever works best for you.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does, yeah.
So it's about 8 bottles, I think.
Okay.
If I remember rightly, something like that. It's an awful lot of glue.
Can see you through the year, can see you through the weekend, depending how quickly how much you're doing or sharing. I guess you could get lots of the little bottles, and then this could be your big decanter, couldn't it? If you're doing
can.
workshops and things.
I do find that, and this, it sounds like a sales pitch, I suppose, but I do find our glue comes out better in our bottles because you've got a wider nozzle.
Yeah.
If you go for the really fine nozzles, you might, like the ones with the little metal nozzle, you might actually find it better to not use the metal nozzle part of it.
Yep.
Because it's quite a, and this is what we want, but it's quite a thick consistency of glue. And that's kind of, so when we try to get it through the really fine nozzles.
So maybe I'd keep that bottle, and when it eventually runs out, I buy this, top it up with that.
Absolutely.
Yeah?
So I've bought a new bottle today because this one's neat, but at home I've got the bottle I've been using for over a year and all the labels all cracked and tatty, and I just keep refilling it time after time.
Okay.
So I'm saving money on having to keep buying the little bottles just by topping up with the big.
I'm with you.
And then we're going to bring in the number 1 dad, and we're going to place that down here on the side. And we've done that just in white card, so it's kind of subtle and not too prominent, but there for Father's Day.
Let me pop this one next to it just to sort of compare and contrast, darling. Now, that number 1 dad is classed as one of the smaller sentiments, $3.59. That is all. Could be a completely different colour, but everything you're seeing there with the the decal side of things, the number 1 dad, the waxes, even the diamond embossing folder, all on the show. Right, I'm going to go and recap, and then we'll come straight back for another demo. We've only got 15 minutes left. Here was the plan, though. We've got extra time, haven't we?
If you
So
need
we're
to,
happy
whatever you
to
wish,
stroll on
whatever you
through.
want.
Because Pretty in Paper, they were meant to be on twice today, but Bethan isn't very well, so they're not coming in. We're going to reschedule that. But it does mean that we can run over by 5 minutes.
Okay, 5 minutes.
do that.
We'll
Right.
set our watches.
Yeah. Go. And then Christine Pinflair will come in and be like, what's going on in here?
What's going on?
She's coming up
Why
later
are you
as
not
well.
ready?
Yeah. Right, everyone, thank you so much for joining on the craft store. I'm going to be quick 'cause we've got officially 15 minutes. I know we'll go over a little bit. Why not? But this is that brand new vintage travel collection. 8 die sets in there, taking you through the bicycle, motorbike, car, biplane, the ocean liner and the train. You've then got your suitcases and your tags and all of your stamps to go alongside. Should be nearly £112, £89.99. Divide it by 3 on PayPal if you wish, £30. Your order is over 25, therefore, jamieonthecraftstore.com will be free P&P. I know I've gone quick, I know I have. If you're just joining us, because I know you want to see more demonstrations, please rewind this show to the start, because we gave lots of samples, went through it all individually. You can get them all individually too. Below there, 10 new sentiments as well. The one that we've seen on that last card there, the number 1 dad, that is the most affordable, if you like, $3.59. The medium sizes, which most of them are, $4.49. You've got 2 of the larger ones that are right on the end. They are $5.39. Well worth the money. Again, you'll see full of actually what they say in things. Some are Father's Day, some are like anniversaries to your partners, etc. Find them all on jamieonthecraftstore.com. There, that magical one at the start is one of the larger ones. Best dad in the world. Happy Father's Day. All plenty of time before Father's Day, which is in the middle of June next year. One more item I'm going to show you, which I'll hold in my hands, is the new Isosceles triangle, which is really, where have I put the rest of the stuff? I don't remember. But nevertheless, here you go. You can see how this can be constructive, as Jamie showed you. It could be bunting, it could be card shapes. You can spy, actually, it's even used in there, isn't it? Or to decorate there. Or, easy now. Is that the way around, everyone at home? Yeah, I think so. The Isosceles triangle is also brand new today. Should be £19. It's £17.09 today. That is because that is brand new, and you'll get the further 10% off too. Right, I know I went really, really quickly. Again, please rewind this show on Facebook, or you can watch it forever on YouTube after all, where we get really, really into it. But I'm going to wander back. So, I know Pretty in Paper aren't coming in today. Get well soon, Bethan. That'll be rearranged. Pinflair and Christine and new cartonnage projects, Jamie, is on at 1 o'clock. And then Jamie's back, and he's going to be in full festive gear, fake beard, the hat, Christmas jumper,
Let's not
eggnog
promise
in
what
one.
we can't deliver.
No, yeah, okay, no, that.
Yeah.
But we have found some of the
Different
Christmas
sorts of
decks
troubles.
in
We
the
have.
studio, so we're going to go a little bit to town, aren't we?
We'll go a little bit festive.
Let's not promise what we can't deliver, Dan.
We can't do that.
Just
Can't do
another
that.
day.
So this is the card that we're going to do next, and we're going to play around again with the car, but I'm going to show you the bike with this one, and we're going to bring in our waxes again. I often confess this in life. I am a terrible colourist. I'm not good at colouring at all.
I like those colours though.
Well, this is my hack. I love to find hacks when we're doing things. So I've probably not hooked out the right colours, but it's not the end of the world. Let's take our motorbike and we're just going to do some small amounts of colouring over the top of it. We really don't have to be too particular. Again, because of the debossing that is on the die, it's kind of difficult to go wrong, to be honest with you. But if you do, not the end of the world. So we'll hook out just a few areas and go around some of these pieces. So maybe we'll have a bit of a silver light going on as well. And then we'll give it an actual bit of yellow for the main light on there.
Emma Louise Kemp says, morning all, I'm a bit late to the party today. Hey, Jamie and Dan. That's all right, Emma. The good thing is you can rewind, so really you're never late.
Never late, are you really? That's the joy
You're
of what we're
never
doing.
late. Lots of people saying hello to each other, which I love in the feed too. Alison adds on with the glue, by the way, and they don't block up if you leave the lid off.
Alison left her lid off, I think, for 4 days, if I remember rightly, and it still didn't block, which has got to be some sort of record.
I think she was out and
hasn't it?
about and was like, my lid!
No, like I
like-
did when I got here and realised what I'd forgot.
My paperwork!
Yeah, you're like, oops.
I've left Kevin at home. Kevin!
So we're just going to do a small amount of this. You don't need to watch all of it, I suppose. I'm getting a bit carried away now.
Hey, the vintage side of things, if you have got some cream or ivory cardstock, it does lend itself to, doesn't it?
Yeah, and as I say, we don't have to be particular. We can just be kind of quite all over the place with this because we're going to cover up a bit of it. So we'll bring in a bit of this sort of burgundy to go around there. And we'll do the middle of that part as well. So we've kind of got a bit of colouring going on. You can spend more time than I am, but it gives you the idea. I'd then bring in my wax. And again, this time maybe go with the finger so that we don't go too heavy with it. And then just go over the top. Because what you're then doing is you're adding another layer that kind of fills in the voids for us a little bit and covers up any of that blending that we didn't quite do right or that doesn't look quite nice. Another one I would also recommend as well, I like doing this with the gold over the top of my colouring. But another good one is the Snow White, especially if you're going to do flowers.
Yeah.
There is a couple of samples of that, but if you do flowers and you blend your flowers and then do the white over the top, that looks really lovely. So for speed, I've done just a small amount here, but if we bring in this car, you can hopefully see a bit more of that in action.
Oh, yeah.
To give you a bit of that shimmer over the top, which just works really nicely. And then with our mats and layers, the colours that we just used to go around the edges or to colour in with, we can then use these to go around the edges and then use our wax over the top of those as well. So that again, our mats and layers coordinate perfectly with the colours that we've been using to colour in our items.
I love this. Like you say, rather than trying to find the matching coordinating cardstock or whatever you're doing, even your mats and layers are perfect.
So we'll go on to our card blank and we're going to bring in our glue once again. And as I say, cheated, coloured edges, bit of wax over the top of them so it all coordinates. And we can start off with our green layer. We can then move on up to our kind of browny layer. It's going to coordinate with the frame that's going to go on in the middle of this one. We'll place that down in the centre.
Now, Jamie, just to say, Jamie on the Craft Store is a special website that you've created purely for the Craft Store. Thank you so much. So we haven't got to go looking too far. It's everything we're talking about is all just there.
Yeah.
On days you're not here, on the weeks in between you're not here, etc., how do people get hold of your stuff or follow you?
So you can follow us everywhere by just searching for Jamie Rodgers Crafts. We're pretty much on everything other than TikTok. Keep trying to get onto TikTok. That ain't going very well.
Why not?
Well, I don't know. I'm just not very good with technology.
Okay.
Honestly, I'm terrible.
Okay.
But
it's a different beast, TikTok.
is it? I don't know. I can't even get onto it.
No, is it?
I think they've seen me coming and like, no, close the door.
Not to
Don't
you.
allow
Thank you
him
very
in.
much.
So yeah, but we're pretty much everywhere else you could imagine. So with my frame, all I'm going to do here is I just want to turn this into a square. So I'm going to fold that. Actually, we'll cut it off. I think that's going to be easier. That would be if I could find. Oh, there's my scissors.
There's some scissors. There's some little ones.
There's some scissors. I'm going to cut that bit off. Actually, I'm going to
Okay.
glue it back together. And I just wanted to do this to show you that you could change it to whatever you want it to be. So if you don't want it as a rectangle and you want it as a square, don't panic. Just trim away. Might even take a bit more off. So yeah, so you can find us everywhere as Jamie Rodgers Crafts, that's no problem. And then in between shows, you can purchase our goods, of course, from all of our stockists. So we are all about our stockists, to be honest, as a company. We don't actually sell direct. We literally just sell through our stockists. Our only exception is when we come to you, and hence why we have a little pop-up website.
Very kind.
and that's it. But yeah, so everything can be found from them. There is a stockist list on our other website, which is jamierodgerscrafts.com. And if you pop onto that one and have a little look, you'll find a stockist list. You'll also find an idea gallery, which is really good. Every card that I and the team make, we place that onto the gallery so that everyone can have a little look through them and hopefully be inspired. So if you're looking at this collection and thinking, well, I really like it and I'd like even more inspiration, have a little look because you'll find everything that we've made with it on there.
Marvellous.
So we're then going to take our cart and we're going to place that down on the edge of our frame. And then we've just got a little sentiment to go in the middle here. And this time we're going to use sending you all the love in the world. And again, coloured with the same green marker and then gone over the top with the gold.
Now, sending all the love in the world. Like, so there's lots of Father's Day bits and bobs on the show, which is perfect timing for Father's Day. Sending you all love in the world could be for a wedding, for Father's Day, for a get well soon, for a sympathy, for an anniversary. You know, it could be so much, isn't it? Because it is a thoughtful thing, sending someone a card.
That is kind of the aim, really, isn't it? To cover all aspects.
Yeah. There we go. Isn't that beautiful? Sending you all the love in the world is one of the medium sentiments. You can see the mats and layers are also on the show. Jay.
Yes.
You got another demonstration?
Of course we have.
Because I figure normally we'd have 5 minutes and we wouldn't have time. But we're going to go wild and go through to 11 a.m. So we've got 10 more minutes.
Okay, all right.
What do you need? Do you want me to make... Oh,
no, it's fine.
Whilst you're getting bits and bobs out, can I quickly show you this at home? Because this is really, really fun, Jamie.
This is done by our lovely Sharon and the design team.
Sharon.
Noble.
How cool is that? So again, do I recognise those frames from previous sentiments?
What you got there? Yes, you do.
I
yes,
do.
They come from some of our other ones. That's our alphabet, of course. There are cogs. And then as you flick through, you'll see lots of different components coming through.
Now, Sharon, this is really cool. This could be the sort of thing you could be making and selling. You can make it for yourself ready for an occasion. For example, give yourself little notes of, you know, what we're doing that day. Maybe you like to go on a cruise. Have you ever been cruising?
No, I haven't, but I'd love to.
Apart from up and down the high street in Yarmouth.
Maybe.
Back in the wasted youth. But nevertheless.
I'd like to go on I'll say it, on a Disney cruise.
Would you?
I'd love to do that.
I'd love to go on a cruise.
I think that looks like fun.
I've got a lot of friends who go on cruises. A lot of our crafty friends. Christine Pinflair, speak to her about cruises.
Yeah?
She's never off a boat. God. Yeah, Parker. I was wondering where Martin Parker's been. Cruising all this time.
Cruising, just
all this time.
Just cruising. I wouldn't blame them.
But Disney cruise, yeah, I just think the facilities are incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, I just think that'd be fun. You wouldn't get bored, would you?
No, you wouldn't.
So, yeah. Okay, so what we're going to do for this card, this is the card that we're going to work on next. And I just wanted to share with you how well the stamps and the dies coordinate and how they're going to match up. This is really easy and simple to do, so it's nothing too complicated. We don't do complicated. Life's too short to be complicated.
Yes.
So we'll just bring in a couple of our stamps and we'll stick those ones down. And we'll bring in our ink again, and I'm just going to use our quick dry pigment black ink. But any ink would be fine. It's down to the effect you want to achieve, really. We'll give those a little stamp out. But I wouldn't even mind where I go. I know that brand do one around the UK, believe it or not.
Do they?
Yeah.
Oh, you could go see Hull, you could see Felixstowe.
It is a bit like that. You go to Liverpool and places like that. I can't remember the rest of it. But yeah.
Southampton, wave at Dave Bradford.
I think you get on at Southampton and then literally just go round the coast and come back in like 5 days.
Why not?
It's the cost of a small house. But it does look lovely. I wouldn't mind where I went.
The hippie people like who retire onto cruise ships because it's more affordable, like board and bed and breakfast and stuff, and they just live on the 7 seas forever.
I wouldn't blame them. So then with our little stamp bits,
we're coming.
All we would do is bring in the matching dies and place those over the top and send it through. Or I would do if I could find the right one. But just whichever one you need to use, put it on, send them through, and they're going to cut out for you. So very, very easy to do, nothing complicated there. Once they've gone through, you're going to end up with a whole host of pieces, which is what I've got here, all different tickets. Again, I've just used my waxes.
Just have a day doing this, couldn't you? Really fun.
Yeah.
Maybe I've got a project quite in mind, but you want to get playing with the new stuff you've ordered?
Yeah, you don't have to do them all at once. And then this is kind of like a lot of the other ones we've done, and I know that times are coming up, so we'll be quick.
7 minutes, that's right.
Have we?
Yeah.
Oh, we're all right then.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you need energy, there's loads of eggs down here.
There is. Well, not loads anymore. You left us alone with the bag.
By the way, friends, who opens a packet of eggs like that?
What was wrong with that?
You've lost your mind.
What was wrong with that? No, that is the mind of somebody who knows they're going to eat all of them.
Who opens it like that? You've just...
If you're going to eat all of them, it doesn't matter.
You get a couple of hands in there, can you?
You know that they're not going to last long.
I'm really careful. A whole side strip gone.
No.
Let me at them.
That was breakfast. Breakfast never lasts long, you see.
Mm-hmm.
Then on with our next panel. layered onto here. And then we're going to bring in our triangles. We haven't really focused on those much,
Yes.
have we? So our triangles, of course, are really good for cutting about and playing around with. So I've just used one triangle and then cut it down the middle. I've done exactly the same as what we did in the first demo, going over the top with the black ink and then adding in the waxes. Kind of a bit wax obsessed in this show, aren't we?
Well, they're new, they're new toys, why not?
Yeah, they're so much fun and so many techniques you can do with them. And then all we're going to do is take our tickets.
And by the way, your wax is for them. I don't know what colour that is. Is that the...
That's the Snow White.
If I just bring that in over the overhead there, the Snow White on white or Snow White on black, isn't that cool? Isn't it different? But wow. And this is all, and again, talking about those diamond side of things, all these different finished samples to show you. That's stencil is on the show, but more importantly, it's the waxes it's highlighting, isn't it? There we go.
I like that stencil. That's one I go back to time after time. Okay, and then we're just going to add in, we don't have to raise all of these, so some of these I've done on tape. A couple of these ones we're just going to poke them in so that they're sort of appearing from behind other ones, just to create a bit more depth. And then, can we fit that
Why
one
Disney
more?
Cruise? I mean, obviously you're a Disney fan then, that would kind of allude to that.
Yeah, not as in like, I love the parks. I love the parks.
Okay.
I absolutely adore the parks. To me, they're just a way of escaping and a completely different environment and lovely place to spend time. And I don't even mind if I don't go on anything. I'll just sit and watch people go by and eat ice cream. That's fine by me. So yeah, as a brand, I like them. The films, I could probably count on one hand how many I've watched. Nothing wrong with them. I don't know who half of them are, but I love them. I once chased Donald Duck around a very posh hotel to get his signature.
Did you?
Yeah, we went to the one in Paris. This is many years ago. And we said, we'll never go to another Disney park. You know, this will be our one and only. And we went for Christmas. So we were literally there, and there was like 10 of us, 10 or 11 of us, might have even been more back then, who went. And we stayed in the very nice big posh hotel that looks out over the park.
Wow.
And was there for literally all of Christmas. Well, not all of Christmas, but about 5 days. And then as a family, we kind of fell in love, and that sparked off our travels.
Yeah.
And I haven't gone to all of them, but I've been to the California one a couple of times, and the Florida one now about 12 or 13 times.
Oh, wow, okay.
But now they announced yesterday they're going to build a new one in Abu Dhabi. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, I think so.
Something like that.
Have you spoken to Helen Kirkham about this?
No, it's sort of, a while back, yeah.
She's also...
Yeah. But I need to do Shanghai, Hong Kong, Tokyo, and now this new one. They keep building them too quickly.
Well, those three are all like the same sort of part of the world, so that could be just
one very long holiday.
The ocean line will take some time to get there.
Just one very long holiday.
Or the biplane. But nevertheless, no, I love it. I think how they do it is just incredible, the detail, isn't it?
It's like a military operation. Everything is done in such a organised way.
And listen, you can be so organised with your projects. Brought that back, didn't I? As you can spy here. Or if it is travel or adventure, or maybe you're not. Maybe you're personally, you're not in a position right now to go off and do planes and stuff. But actually, the idea of and just escaping that way is such a wonderful way to do so. If I can just bring in a couple of the cards we've done together. Here we go. Just these three on today's show. Here we go. Hope that's a bit on the wonk now because it's not on the glass plate. But nevertheless, really, really cool. And you've gone quite like a little bit kind of steampunky maybe with the colours.
Yeah, a bit more dark
gold,
and vintage.
white,
But you don't have to be. You know, you could dress these up to whatever occasion and theme you want them to be.
You absolutely can. Right, Chris, are we okay to go back over there? All right then, have a wander with me, Jay, absolutely. Everything on this show is on jamieonthecraftstore.com. I want to highlight that point. There's 10% extra off everything just for being on the craft store. Thank you so much for that. So the waxes, the glues, the paste we didn't even get to, the glitter we didn't even get to, the essentials we're spying right there. This counter is all about new, isn't it?
It is, yes.
Really beautiful. Jay, quick, I know we've got like 2.5 minutes left. Quick overview of what we're getting home, please.
So with this collection, you are going to receive all of your different dies, giving you that complete travel vintage feel to them. You're also then going to get your stamps as well, which of course are going to coordinate with all of those matching dies so that they're easy to use. That's your main bundle. Then of course you've got your mini sentiments as such. You've got 10 different versions of those that you can go in and just pick out your favourites from, all with 10% off that will hopefully cover a whole host of reasons and seasons throughout the year. And then of course you've got your triangles as well, which is your Isosceles triangles, which gives you 17 dies, if I remember rightly, which are great for making up backgrounds, great for doing bunting, great for making Christmas trees, and symmetrical, so easy to fold.
Speaking of which, Jay, what's going on today at 3 p.m?
So at 3 we will go into a whole Christmas bonanza. We've got our Christmas Wishes collection and our Essentials Christmas collection, and there's no big bundles in this. It's all about you building what you'd like and coming in and getting the bits you'd like to pick up, all with 25% off. So a huge saving and a great chance for you to get hold of them.
So whilst you're on Jamie on the Craft Store right now, maybe after this show, stick with us for 1 o'clock, by the way, because Christine Pinflair are coming in as well to do lots of new items. That's at 3 o'clock. But right now, when I'm on jamieonthecraftstore.com, just keep scrolling down that homepage.
And you can have a little look. You can, of course, start checking out now if you wish.
Well, yeah, if you're going for individuals, maybe you're going to go for a couple of these sentiments, and you can slip into them and do it for like Dad's card for Christmas, and then add some of the Christmas bits in, maybe some of your essential waxes. Your basket's going to get £25.
Easy.
Free P&P.
Easy P.
So it's going to be like only the 10 o'clock show, only the 3 p.m. show, whatever you want. But all of these items that we are talking about here are all in one place. So jamieonthecraftstore.com. Jay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for doing 2 shows. Thank you for bringing the new stuff. Thank you for the extra discounts. And for the 10% off everything. Right now is your time to go and shop. jamieonthecraftstore.com. After this, we're going to go and eat some more mini eggs. We're going to go raid the Christmas decks, which I'm very excited about. Dust them all off.
It's a bit random.
And you're right. It's very random, but
it's good.
We're crafting. You know, Christmas in June is a thing.
Yeah, it is.
Christmas in May.
Christmas for ages.
Is another thing. Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't really
we are well
stop,
up for
does
it.
it?
Jamie, thank you so much. With 5 seconds left. Thank you for your comments as well. We'll see you at 1 o'clock with Pinflair, 3 o'clock with Jay. But now it's time for you to go shopping on that website that was just on the screen.